Hello and welcome to today's Facecast. Today we're in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 10, verse 29 and 30. Jesus is talking to his disciples and he's trying to tell them how important they are and the people all around them, how important they are in the sight of God their Father in heaven. And he says, amongst other things, "Are not two sparrows sold for a penny? Yet not one of them will fall to the ground apart from the will of your Father. And even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. So don't be afraid, you are worth more than many sparrows." What's he getting at here? By saying that the hairs on your head are numbered, he doesn't literally mean somewhere written individually on each hair of the head is a particular number. What he's saying is that God knows so much about you. He's created you with such care and concern and relish that he knows all about you, even to the individual hairs on your head, which in my case might not seem too important. But in most cases, it's very important. It's important because it means that God knows us and cares about us. If that's the case, we might say, why are some people born rich and some poor? Why are some people born able-bodied and some not able-bodied? Why are some, and so on? Well, that's the way that we look at things. The way that our Father in heaven looks at things is that we are all created equal. That means the person who is not as physically, mentally, or capable as you and I, they're just as important to him. They're just as special to him. They might not work in the same way that you work or I work. Their bodies, their heads, they might not work in the same way, but they're just as special. Rich and poor, isn't that something we've invented rather than something that God has done? He has given us this earth on which to live, and he wants us to share it with each other and have dominion over it, control of it. But because we are sinful human beings, we tend to get things wrong sometimes, and we make a mess of things, and we've made a bit of a mess of this world. We've created all sorts of things which in the long term may well destroy it. You've only got to think of the ecological disasters that are around and are waiting to happen these days. You've only got to think of things like coronavirus happening because we were doing something in one part of the world which we shouldn't have been doing. There's all sorts of occasions where we can look at how human beings have misused the world that God has given us. But he cares about each and every one of us. He longs to see us in relationship with him. He knows that we, each one of us, are more special than anything else on earth that he has created, because he's created us to have that special relationship with him. That's why he sent his son Jesus to be with us, so that Jesus could communicate with us and show us the way to the Father. If you have been a church-going member for a good number of years, you'll know all this. It won't be new to you. But I wonder how much of it impacts your life. I wonder how much time you take and spend doing the worldly things that actually harm the world in which we live. To be honest with you, all of us should be walking everywhere, not using motor cars or aeroplanes or trains, using up all those Earth's resources. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we could all just return to the simple pastoral life? But of course we can't. The world is different now to as it was thousands of years ago, and we've got to take our place in it. And somehow we've got to make the best of it. And so in that gap, that joining together of the old and new, in that place, that's where we exist, trying to live the lives that we should live in the sight of God our Father, whilst living the lives we need to live in this world today. And it isn't easy. Sometimes we have to make decisions which seem contrary to our conscience. Difficult times, perhaps. I've given you something to think on there, hopefully. But remember that God cares for us so much that he knows each individual hair on our head, or dare I say, on our chin. Bye for now.